So what is up, guys? It is Kekoa MacAuley back with another video. If you haven't followed me on IG, you can check out Kekoa Mac over here. But this is going to be how I would get low-key rich in 2024. So if you want to be that person that, is just able to travel, able to do the things that they want, they're able to work from coffee shops, they're able to, sleep in late, they're able to spend time with their kids, their family, their friends, pretty much all the time, and nobody really knows what you do. Well, this video is going to be for you, so make sure to listen up. Now, in this video, I'm going to be going over a few different things. The first is how to actually develop the mindset to win, right? There's a big difference between winners and losers, and it's not in the genetic, DNA. It's not in the makeup of the person. It's more on their belief systems, right? And the mindset that they have and the outlook that they have on life. Now, number two is you're going to learn how to develop a strong sales ability. Now, I'm a firm believer that there's only two ways to get paid for your value and not your time. There's only two ways to have an unlimited income potential, and that's either if you start a business, which is really freaking hard. You have to learn 20, 30, 40 different skill sets. You need a ton of money, right? You need to be willing to lose a lot of money in order to make those massive gains as well, right? And there's just a ton of different skills that you have to learn. I've actually learned the hard way with this. Or there is the second option, which is something like sales, something like remote triaging, as you guys might have heard me, coin that term here before. And I'm going to be delving into a little bit more, about exactly what this is. You're also going to learn exactly what sort of products to sell in 2024 to actually make the most money, how to find the best sales opportunities, how to actually scale your income past that $10,000 a month mark and beyond, and then also when to leave your 9 to 5. Because if you're watching this video, most likely you're sick and tired of your boss, telling you what to do. Maybe you just want to make a little bit more money on the side. Maybe you want to completely leave your 9 to 5 so you can spend time with your family, your kids, your loved ones, your friends, right? Choose your own working hours. And that's ultimately what this video is planned to help you guys out with. So a big tip, right? If you want money faster, just implement as soon as possible, right? Implement today the stuff that I'm going to be showing you guys. Now, just to show some proof that I actually know sort of what I'm talking about, right here, I guess my face covered it, but we've done, so that was back in like 2022, 2023, about $3 million inside my agency on our new Stripe processor that we've had for the past, I guess a year and a half now, processed just over about $2 million. Obviously there's some refunds in there, so that's like the net volume. Net volume is just, gross volume minus like refunds or disputes, anything like that. And then right here, this was back in 2021. I know you guys have probably seen something about, hey, I hit my first $15,000 day, and that was when I really, knew that sales was for me. But this is like literally proof, bank statements from back then. And then of course, this is some of our Stripe payouts. I think this was over like a week and a half, whenever that screenshot was taken. Now, obviously you guys can, take this as you will. Sure, I can make up these screenshots, but whatever, right? Anyways, once again, right, I could probably generate all these images with AI, but this was me, back when I was like 21. I went to Dubai for like, 17 days by myself, just kind of explored, hanging out with the camels. Here's me with some friends. Once again, these could be AI generated, I guess, if you guys don't believe that, but whatever. That's in San Diego. Here's some of our actual team members, some of the sales guys, managers inside the Modern SDR and kind of our business now. Here's Patrick right here. Patrick's great, but here's him on a coaching call with some of the students. And Christian, this was actually I think last month actually, but he actually did $18,000 in take-home commissions just for 1 month of hard work. And you can see that we almost have about 1,600 students inside the Modern SDR ecosystem, at least at the time of recording this video. I think I took this screenshot last night actually. So let's give you some context back when I was making, $0 to $10,000 a month. And you guys might honestly be feeling this way as well right now if you're watching this video. And if you're in the same position that I was back in 2018, you probably feel the following emotions and made the following realizations, right? You might have, achieved the big goal of doing what society told you, but you still feel that there is something missing in your life, right? You might feel that there is more to your potential and therefore you end up dissatisfied on a daily basis. You work your job, you come home, you're not happy, right? You might feel overwhelmed with the amount of work, right, that it takes to actually generate money, especially in today's economy, right? You might feel inflation is kind of like crushing you into the ground, right? You might feel like you're on the same hamster wheel, either inside a business that isn't working, right? Maybe you're trying to start your own business, but it's not working, or you also feel in that hamster wheel in your 9-to-5 job. You might look around and see all of these influencers, all of these, kids on social media literally working less hours than you, traveling the world, who are ultimately making your yearly salary in just 1 to 2 months. And you feel like it isn't fair. Or you might feel financially free, but at the same time, a slave to your job with no time to actually see your family, your loved ones, or your friends. Now, there's really only one way to get out of this situation. And the only thing, right, that you need more of is not more time. It's not to work more hours, but it's more leverage, right? Getting paid for your time and not your value, right? So in very unleveraged positions like a 9-to-5 job will only lead you to more headaches, less money in your bank account, and the feeling that you're not getting paid what you're worth. And what you'll find here is that more leverage comes with learning and internalizing more skills, something like sales, something like remote triaging, or eventually starting a business, right? But these aren't just any skills. It's not, hey, I'm going to go learn a language, I'm going to get rich, right? These are specific, straight to the money skill sets that allow you to tap into other people's businesses, their followers, their social media audiences, to make money online. Now, you might be wondering, Kekoa, hey, what even are these businesses anyways, right? What are these online businesses that I can, work for, literally being anywhere in the world, right? Working on my own time, my own hours. Well, you might have seen some of these people here in the past, right? You might have heard of Ty Lopez. Maybe you've heard of Gregor Gallagher, right? Selling fitness products. You might have heard of Robert Kiyosaki, right? The author of Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Now, a lot of these guys, they have some sort of digital coaching program. They might have a book online. They might have, some sort of product or service that they're actually selling, right? And all of these businesses and personal brand page, they run some sort of ads. They have organic social media content that generate attention, which then they convert that attention into money for themselves as well, right? And this is the most important part, as well as the salespeople that are on board at their companies. And they're generating tons of money for their, salespeople, right? Which is ultimately where you kind of come in. Now, how do these businesses make money? Well, there's generally going to be some sort of ad or social media following. You might have, like the content or a website with a call to action. So this might be like a link in the bio on an Instagram page, or, maybe it's a link in the YouTube description, something like that. You're then going to have a conversation in the DMs or on the phone, and then you're going to go in and qualify and book a sales call, right? After that, we'll then kind of conduct a 45-minute phone call right here, right? And this is where you actually close a deal and have money in your pocket, ultimately helping that student or that prospect get the dream result that they're paying for, right? So that, in a nutshell, right, is the exact process how you're also going to start working with these businesses. And I'm going to ultimately kind of walk you through exactly how this works later in this video too. But first, I think it is really important to actually understand, hey, how do we develop the mindset to win, right? Well, there's 3 main things that really will allow you to actually get out of a 9-to-5 and into a position where you're paid for your value and not your time. And the first thing, right, is understanding that the environment is everything. And this is, me and a buddy of mine out in, I think this was Costa Rica, actually. We were just, we just got back seeing the monkeys, went to the beach, right? And we're just hanging out and talking, right? But this was a mastermind, and our environment is really everything, because it shapes our thoughts, it influences our behaviors, right? And it sets the stage for our daily actions. So if we're in an amazing environment, around people that inspire us, around people that are making money, right? Around people that are mentoring us on new skills that we don't know yet, right? Do you think that we're going to have a better life? Most likely, right? And that's why it's so important to be around the right people, right? And that's why it's amazing for all of our modern SDR students to be around others that are pushing them every single day to succeed, to win, right? To really get ahead in life. Now, the second part, is going all in, right? If you kind of half-ass something, or you're not fully bought in, it's going to be really hard for you to go anywhere, right? And this was me out with another friend in Greece. This was a few years ago, but this is literally right after the social media agency started to take off. I was traveling the world, seeing friends, staying in beautiful places, right? And there's 3 quotes that kind of hit me when I want to talk about going all in, right? Now, the first is from Elon Musk, and he says, when something is important enough, you do it even if the odds are not in your favor. If you really want to spend time with your kids, you're going to figure it out. If you really want to make more money online, you are going to figure it out. You're going to pay whatever is necessary, whether it costs $5,000, $10,000, $20,000. You need to pay that money, right, in order to learn the skill sets needed to get you out of whatever situation you're in. It doesn't matter, if the odds are not in your favor. It doesn't matter if it's scary. It doesn't matter if you're, getting out of your comfort zone, because what's the alternative? Well, it's staying in a mediocre life, right? And that's something that I would never, ever want or wish upon even my worst enemy, is living a mediocre life, right? But that's what most people live. Now, what is the second thing? It's from Michael Jordan. And he says, I've missed more than 9,000 shots in my career. I've lost almost 300 games. 26 times I've been trusted to take the game-winning shot, and I've missed. I failed over and over and over again in my life, and that is why I succeed. Michael Jordan, one of the greatest basketball players of all time, has said, right, that he fails literally 9,000 times, right? But because of that, that's the reason that he's successful, because he's not afraid of that failure, right? And he does the hard work. He just puts in the work anyways, right? So that's what you have to internalize. And then lastly, we have Oprah Winfrey here, and she says, the big secret in life is that there is no secret. Whatever your goal, you can get there if you're willing to work. But the reality is that most people aren't willing to work. So ask yourself this question today: am I willing to put in the work? Am I willing to do whatever it takes, right? And then lastly is understand that the future results, right? This is a screenshot. This is another $10,000 day back in May 9th, 2024. We had a nice little $20,000 day, and it's all because of the skill set of sales here. But you must understand that the future results are determined by present day actions. In order to get a change a month from now, in order to get a change 3 months from now, 6 months from now, 12 months from now, you have to internalize, hey, what are the present day actions that I'm putting in every single day that are going to generate the results that I want? In order to generate the results that you want in the future, you must be willing to take action now. You must honestly be willing to take action yesterday, right? Here in the present. Because the only thing that determines your outputs is the inputs that you put in, that you implement on a daily basis. So once again, right, understand that environment is everything. You must go all in, and you must understand that the future results, right, to get days like this, right? I mean, obviously I run a business now. We have 25, 30 people on the team, right? But to get results like this, it's like these results aren't coming from the same day. These results are coming from the years of preparation, right, to actually get results like that. And then you must be able to develop a strong sales ability, right? In order to get results like this, like Steve, who closed a $100,000 deal, right? Like Frederick, who made $3,250 in commissions in just 3 days. Or even like business owners like here, right? Bringing in $182,000 in a single month, right? Another student of ours, another client who made $90,000 in a day in his business, right? Or even getting $120,000 in cash collected, making commissions, right? 5-10% commissions from that. I mean, that could be $12,000. Well, there's really only 3 things that you have to understand in order to start developing a strong sales ability. And on our channel, there's of course a ton of other videos that actually go into this, so definitely make sure to check that out. And once again, right, if you do want to learn more about what it looks like to actually develop a strong sales ability, make sure to click the link in the description down below. And that's also going to take you, right, to book in a call to speak with our team about learning more about what it looks like to actually become a student inside of the Modern SDR. But the first is really going to be DM setting. Now, this is where you're actually inside, someone's inbox. So maybe you're actually helping, Tai Lopez. Maybe you're helping Robert Kiyosaki. right? Actually inside of their direct messages over on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, right? And you're actually helping sell the digital products that they might have, right? Now, really, there's generally like two different types of, structures within DM setting. Now, the first is going to be DM closing, and that's where you're actually selling a product directly inside the DM. So you're asking questions, you're, making sure that a prospect has like a pain point that they're struggling with, that they have a desired situation, and then ultimately your product or service can help them fill that gap right there. Now, let's say you're selling a $2,000 product, you make 20% commission on that. Well, that's $400 in your pocket for literally just sending DMs, right? And this example, even from, I opted into our funnel, and our DM setters over on Instagram were literally just like following up with me, right? And that's what you have to be really good at, right? To be good at DM setting, you really have to dial in your follow-up process. And that's something that we, ultimately talk about inside of our programs as well. Now, the perks of this role, right, is that you never need to show your face. You can start learning the ropes of, setting appointments, closing deals, and start understanding how sales frameworks and psychology really works. Side note, I'm on my my third cup of coffee here, so kind of like amped up this morning, but regardless, right? So that's DM setting. Now, it's also probably important for you guys to actually understand kind of what does the sales process even look like? Because if you guys are just like brand new to this, if this is like the first video you're seeing of me, you might not really understand what a sales process even looks like, right? So just for some context, right, someone might opt in over on Instagram, right? Maybe it's over on Facebook. And you as a DM setter are helping qualify this prospect, right? So you're helping qualify them a little bit more. You might be sending them, calendar questions and ultimately asking qualifying questions to see if that they could be a good fit. This might then take them to a triage call or a discovery call, as we might call it, right? And then this is going to take them to that 15-minute phone or the 45-minute phone call, right? Where they're actually going to hop on with what we call a high ticket closer, right? Or a head advisor to actually come in and close the deal, right? And this is ultimately where you guys are making money. So you make money, hey, as a DM setter, you could make money as a triage setter, right? Or you make money really on that demo call as a closer, right? And once that deal is closed, that's when you guys are getting paid. Now, what is that second role, right? What is a triage call? Well, this is generally a short kind of introductory call. Maybe it's like 10, 15 minutes, right? On maybe Zoom calls or just on the phone that you can take on your laptop or your cell phone, working from anywhere in the world. And the whole goal of this is just to set a demo call for a closer, right? With this phone call, right? So once again, you're kind of like at this point in the process, triage call. Maybe you're sending them over some like emails, some content, right, to kind of nurture them a little bit more. And then that obviously takes them to a demo call where they close. Now, a big point of, importance here is that when you're calling a lead, right, let's say you're actually on a sales team, right, you're helping them out. Well, the biggest thing is that you actually want to call a lead in 5 minutes or less, right? If you call a lead in 5 minutes or less, you have a 21 times higher conversion rate than calling them after 30 minutes, right? And also 64% of buyers end up picking the sales, right, that call them back first. They pick the salesperson that calls them back first. So if you're quick to lead, if your speed to lead, right, is under 5 minutes, then you're going to have a much higher commission rate. You're going to make a lot more money, and that's going to help you be able to leave your 9-to-5 job or, whatever, job you're in right now a lot faster, right? Now, lastly, right, and this is me out in Dubai. We were traveling out there, and I was still able to do some work, so that was awesome. But what is high ticket closing? Well, this is where you're actually taking that 45-minute demo call, and this is where you're really learning more about the prospect's current situation. You're learning about where they want to go, and you're learning about the ultimate gap that's stopping them from actually getting there. Now, the skill level for this role is really most in depth, right? As you need a stronger emotional intelligence, you need more skilled question abilities, right? And additional prowess in your objection handling. Generally for this, right, commission rates are about 10% commission for this role. So literally for taking a 45-minute phone call from anywhere in the world, right, you could literally be making, $5,000 or I guess on a $5,000 offer, you could literally be bringing home $500 for every sale. Now, you might be asking Kekoa, hey, this is all great, but what sort of products am I really selling? Well, you might be selling online coaching programs, right? And if you guys remember up here, with all of these guys, what do they sell? Well, they generally sell some sort of online program. And you can even see Ty Lopez has some sort of like call to action where he's like, DM me money, and he's going to actually try to sell you something inside the DMs, right? So you can hopefully start understanding that a little bit more. Now, you might have online coaching programs like with Ty Lopez. You might have consulting services. Maybe this is, some advice about dating. Maybe it's, about fitness, something like that. You might have copywriting courses. You might have, a course how to learn new languages. You might have something about beauty services. Like we actually had a modern SDR student actually work with an acne like removal brand, and they sell like a $4,000 program, 6-month program, right? Helping them ultimately get rid of acne and have a better, life with more confidence as a woman, right? So that's pretty cool to see. And those are actual like real, high ticket programs that if you make 10% commission on $4,000 sale, I mean, that's $400 in your pocket, right? And then lastly, we have fitness programs or coaching. That's obviously for fitness, right? Maybe you're trying to put on muscle, lose fat. And there's obviously very expensive programs for that too, right? And V-Shred, for example, is like a really big company that I know they have high ticket programs. But I know a lot of people that actually sell over the phone for V-Shred, and they make really good money as well. Now, okay, so now we know, okay, what are the 3 roles kind of in the sales world, the sales process? We know what sort of products that we can actually sell. How do we actually find the best sales opportunities now, right? Well, there's really 3 main things that I'm looking for to find a good offer, right? Now, the first thing is the price of an offer, right? So the same level of stress and effort will be required to have a small mindset and a low income, right? So maybe you're even in a 9-to-5 job, you're stuck, you're unhappy, right? Well, you probably are going through the same level of stress and effort than if you were to actually come into something like this, right? And you're able to have a larger income, and even though it might be hard at first, right, you can still have a much higher income with the same amount of work, or maybe even less work there as well. So ultimately it just comes down to choosing your hard. If you make 10% commission on every sale you help with, no matter how long a sale takes, what would you choose to sell? Probably something more expensive, right? I'd much rather sell something. I would much rather sell something, right, that, is more expensive. I make more money, and that's ultimately what's going to help me make more money faster, right? Now, what's the next thing? Well, quality of traffic. Well, we've actually noticed, this is over on YouTube, and obviously you guys are watching this video on YouTube, but if you watch like 20 minutes of my content over on YouTube, then you go watch a few other videos, you really start to understand who I am, right? Most likely you're going to be a warmer lead for being interested in our, modern SDR program, right? Where we're teaching you sales. So it's the same thing where if you're working for a business, if they have a really, great YouTube audience, they have a really, bought in, maybe it's even a Twitch following, right? Over on like live streams. If they have a really strong connection, right? If the followers of that business owner have a really strong connection with them, then ultimately you're kind of leveraging that business owner or that influencer's, prowess, their trust that they have with their audience. And ultimately, right, you're going to make a lot more money, talking to these people. If they've like bought a product, for example, too, right, these leads are going to be 10 times or even 20 times more likely to convert into a larger sale compared to someone that just like opts in on Instagram, right? So there is like a definitely, differences in the quality of traffic, and you do have to kind of understand that so you can be like, hey, this is a better lead. Okay, I want to focus my time and effort on this lead, right? Because that's going to make me more money, right? So this is ultimately how we're ultimately going to be able to scale our income, right? And find just the best opportunities in general. Now, lastly, the type of offer. Now, any offer that helps you make more money or expand your income is going to be generally the most lucrative, right? So this might be business coaching, maybe it's trading stocks, YouTube automation, Amazon FBA, e-commerce, right? And personally, right, I don't think any of these business models are good for a beginner to start out, right? Because if you need, most of these things, you need like $25,000, $50,000, $100,000 to even like try to have success, right? Because you're competing with giants. You're competing with billion-dollar brands, right? Or brands that just have, a ton of FU money, right? That they're able to kind of throw at this, and they're going to outspend you. They're just going to be way better than you, right? But what's great about sales is that you can come in, you can actually help sell these offers, right? And if you're able to bring in, once again, 10, 20% commission, I mean, that could be $500 to $1,000 a sale. So I mean, that's awesome, right? So I would generally say, right, making money offers is going to just allow you to just make more money in general, because it's more of a tangible result. It's not just like, hey, it's not like a, mindset coaching where it's, hey, you have a better mindset. It's, hey, this is literally going to make you more money, therefore you should invest, right? It's just a way easier sale. So that is a big thing. So once again, right, price of the offer, higher price means more money for you. Quality of traffic, if they have a strong YouTube following, strong Instagram following, if they're, maybe they have a low ticket product that's like $50, someone that's willing to pay even $50 is going to be way more qualified than just someone that's in for free, right? They're just going to be a way better lead. And then lastly, right, type of offer, business coaching, stock trading, YouTube automation, anything like that. Now, after we do that, right, how do we actually scale our income? Well, in sales, there's really only 3 ways to scale your income. It's either sell something more expensive. So that's either find a new offer or work with a business owner to either raise the price or actually create a new product, right? So if you're selling something for $10,000, well, obviously you're going to make more money if you're selling something for $20,000, right? So it's just like, how do you find that, and how can you implement that inside the business you're selling for, or just, who you're selling for. Now, the second thing is increase your speed to lead, right? Calling a lead in under 5 minutes will increase your conversions by 21 times compared to calling them 60 minutes or more after they opt in, right? So if you just call a lead fast, you're going to get, way better. And then lastly, just get better at sales, right? Ask better questions. And that's obviously, I have some more videos like on this as well. We also do have our SDR initiative community too. So if you do want to join our SDR initiative community, that's only $17 a month. You can actually join that in the description down below. There's going to be a video, like sales letter, a page there, literally $17. It has like 8+ hours of content, and we're consistently adding more content in there as well. To help you kind of, get a prerequisite before joining Modern SDR 3.0, because this is a pretty big chunk of change. But that's ultimately too, right? If you want to work with us more closely, then of course we have Modern SDR 3.0. Now, when do you actually get to leave your 9-to-5 job? That's probably what you guys want most, right? When can I actually leave my 9-to-5 job? Well, mastering this skill, right, is literally what allowed me to be able to travel. I think I've traveled to like 25 different countries. It's allowed me to, meet my girlfriend out in Brazil. It's allowed me to, do cool trips with my parents, my family, right, my loved ones, my friends, right? So a big warning is that if you actually do end up mastering sales, if you do end up mastering remote triaging, this really could result in you leaving your 9-to-5. This could result in you spending more time with your family and your loved ones, right? And ultimately giving you real financial, location, and time freedom. So just a huge warning, right? If you actually go implement this stuff, this might really happen to you. And hopefully that's a good thing, but that's just a note there. Now, how can you actually leave your 9-to-5? Well, once you start making more money with remote triaging and sales than you do in your 9-to-5, you could definitely leave. If you start to see that, hey, I actually have a lot more time to spend with my kids, my family, my friends, well, maybe you leave your 9-to-5 then. Maybe you start closing a deal working from your bedroom, a coffee shop, or a beach, right? And you're like, oh shit, I can actually do this anywhere in the world. Well, maybe you leave your 9-to-5 then. Or maybe you change someone's life because you enroll them in the product or service that you're selling. And it's crazy, right? So you're able to leave your 9-to-5. Or my personal favorite, right? You start to love sales theory and the psychological frameworks behind humans, behind why people buy, right? And that's a huge needle mover, and for you wanting to really go all in and, leave that job. So once again, that is why we formed the Modern SDR. You can kind of see in here, right? Tons of, modules. I think we have over like 130+ hours of training inside of the Modern SDR now. So if that does sound like something you are interested in, feel free to book in a call here. This Gamma doc will also be in the description down below. You can also follow me on Instagram, follow me on Twitter, right? Any of the social media platforms. And once again, right, I hope to see you traveling the world here soon, spending time with your kids. This has been Kekoa though, and I hope this helps you get low-key rich in 2024. So I'll talk soon, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.